Okay, don't say or, man.
Leave it for the pod.
I love you. And welcome.
Injury.
But dude, I for real don't know how to pronounce these guys' names.
Welcome to the podcast, the Heart and Hustle Cup podcast. Guys, we are excited to give you another episode today. I'm one of the hosts, Diego. We have Alonso Valenzuela, Homero A. Valenzuela, and none other than the father of the bunch, Homero Senior Valenzuela. Guys, we have some news. Thank you for the round of applause. We have some news. Antonio, one of our main hosts, wasn't able to make the podcast today. He's too embarrassed to talk about this stuff in front of his in-laws.
He's no longer with us.
So, we might be letting him go here in future episodes.
What a shame.
He'll be back. He'll be back. So we do have the Chileno, the one and only Patron, Homero,
That's blurry.
Dad, aka Dad, joining us on the pod to help substitute. He doesn't realize that his camera's blurred, so we can't see any of that. But we'd like to welcome you back, Dad. We had a great episode last week. Thanks for coming back. How do you feel joining us one more week?
I feel grateful for the opportunity again. A lot of things to talk about it. I'm excited, and yeah. Sorry for Antonio that he's gonna miss this episode. So I guess family first. I don't know.
He's scared. He's too embarrassed. That's okay. We'll move on though. And guys, a lot to talk about. We're gonna be covering both the Euro Cup and the Copa America just this past week and the games that we saw. Starting from what date was it again, Homero? I think you had it.
It
17th?
was Monday, June 17th.
Monday, June 17th. We are recording this
Today.
on the 23rd. We have about 30 minutes before the USA. Team USA
There you go.
plays against Bolivia. That's going to be a heck of a game. So we're going to have to make this episode efficient, but full of information for everybody here. So we'll start off with the Euro Cup. Guys, let's talk about the standings. The Germany and Switzerland game just ended 1-1. This brought the current standings. Well, actually, I guess this finishes up the group stage for Group A in the Euro Cup. So we have Germany finishing on the top, number 1 in the group. Auf Wiedersehen.
They clinched in the last minute.
Dude.
Literally in what 93rd minute? I don't know.
A
Nicholas
solid-
Fulkrug.
Yes,
With the
solid
goal.
equalizer against Switzerland. Switzerland's in that second place there in the group. Then Hungary is third, and Scotland. You must go back to your home, mate. Oh, that's
I don't want to get married.
I don't want to get married. Oh, you know what? Scotland had a good showing, but they head back to their homeland defeated. Guys,
They will never take our freedom.
no matter what, Mel Gibson will be proud. So yeah, that's the final for the group stage. We have Germany, Switzerland, Hungary, then Scotland. Guys, Germany showed that they came, and they're playing home. They came ready to win this thing. On their last game, just a few minutes ago, they tied 1-1. A heck of a goal from Fulkrug, right in the middle, the equalizer in the last minute. What other key games we had in this group? Any key players that we need to call out from this group and in the games this past week?
Well, I would have to say Germany is it's a little bit worrying because now they played a team that can almost match. Yeah, I didn't think Germany played really well against Switzerland, but Switzerland are coming in with full force. I guess this is their true test going into the second round.
Yep.
Particularly, with that team. Volkrug has been very, very impressive coming off the bench. Seems like he's okay with that role. I almost thinking he should be starting, but I think with this group, that was the key match because it really sets the tone for Germany because now they have to win or they're already at home, but they're gonna watch the games from the couches at home, knowing that they could be playing just there in the backyard. So I think this was a very important game because Switzerland were coming out. They had a goal that was ruled offside, and they were close. So
Barely, very close.
it was. I
Yep.
think it was by like a toe. It was like a toe that he was just offside. Germany did have a goal called back because Jamal Musiala had a foul leading up to the goal. But I think this is a little bit worrying for Germany because these next games are going to be really tough for them as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as games that are going on from this group that just closed out today.
Yep, it's only gonna get harder moving forward here for all teams. Germany's got a pretty good amount of pressure on them just being home with the home crowd. And if I remember correctly, Dad, this team of Germany was your prediction for winning the Euro Cup this year. Do you still feel the same way, or has that changed over the
Oh,
course
yeah.
of the past week?
No, definitely. I'm still going with Germany. Sorry, Alonso.
Ooh,
I know you have feelings and half of your heart isn't there. Malaga, Spain, but I think in Germany, it's strong. It's strong.
So, Dad, I have a question. Do you remember any German phrases or any German words that you learned back in middle school or
High
high
school?
school back in the day? Anything you'd like to say in German for our German fans?
we might need to blur
Yeah,
this.
like how do you say bus in German?
Bus.
Yeah.
We will have
Wagon.
to book
Yeah.
backen.
I was wagon. I was Volkswagen means
Ah,
carro
Oh.
del pueblo, people's car, Volkswagen. You know, that's another word. I don't know if you did. And now the other one is bus. You know, when you get in the bus, that's another word. And
Volkswagen.
I know how to do coleslaw, sauerkraut. You know, and like a couple. I don't know words.
Bratwurst.
still got it. Still
Eat some
got it.
brats.
Good.
Very German of you. Yep, they're gonna have to pick up the game though. The games are gonna get more difficult. If not, they're gonna have to take the Volkswagen home, which they're close. So,
Hold on. I know we'll get there soon, but Germany is going to play the second place of Group C, and Switzerland is going to play the second place of Group B, which Group B has, for me, was the group of death: Spain, Italy, Albania, and Croatia.
well, let's jump right into that group. The current standing is exactly how you stated it. Spain is on top. They're really showing their how powerful they are as a team. We got Spain, Italy at the number 2. Albania is number 3 right now, just due to the goals against that they have. And Croatia's in the last place. Guys, I will say one of my most favorite matches I saw this past week was that Croatia and Albania game. They were both fighting with everything. And then Albania scoring in the end there, really crushing the hearts of Croatia. But this group has definitely been an exciting group to watch. What are the key games? What have we seen? Any key players this past week from this group? Olmedo, what are your thoughts on this group?
From this group, Spain. Croatia. Croatia has just been very lackluster. I don't know they got demolished the first game, and then the second game they were just struggling, and they had it. They had the game. They were up 2-1, and there was a lot of back and forth. And then at the very end, at the death, like the 95th minute, they go and score. The guy who got an own goal against them, right? To put that put Croatia up 2-1. He goes
Yep.
and gets the redeeming goal at the very end to go and tie it up, which puts Croatia last place. Like right now, they are sitting last and going home if they do not get a result, and they will be playing against Italy. Italy coming from I think it was a poor game against Spain. Spain completely dominated. And unfortunately, it was an own goal that made the difference.
Yeah.
And
That's the
that
thing,
was
though.
just-
It's like Spain has been looking really good. Spain was definitely dominating in that game. However, they won 1-0 and it was an own goal.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about the own goals in this tournament, which is just completely ridiculous. But
Too many. Too many.
A little bit of recent history for Spain. I'm looking at their last couple games. In the month of June, they've played 4 games and they have 14 goals and 1 goal against this whole month. Now, they did play against Andorra and Ireland, but still 14 goals and 1 against is incredible.
yep, tomorrow this group will be playing their last group matches: Albania, Spain, and Croatia, Italy tomorrow at 3 p.m. So I know I'll be getting off work early to watch those games. That is for sure. Dad, any final thoughts on this group? Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania. How do you feel about this group on in the standings on the past week of what you can see in the games?
I'm in love with Albania. I mean, those fans are crazy,
Yep.
and I love them. I love them.
Love
But
it.
I still, Croatia have no chance for me. By the way they're playing now, I will stick with Spain and Italy in that order. I think Spain is gonna be the first in the group,
Yep.
and if I have to choose in between Italy and Albania, like I said, I really love the Albanian players, the way they play, the fans, like I mentioned. I'll stick with it, Italy anyway.
Yep, I think it's going to be tough games to watch. It might change the groups. Spain is obviously going to move forward. Italy has 3 points. Albania 1. Croatia 1. But Albania is going to have a tough time with Spain. That might bring them down to that 4th spot. So I think that's going to be an interesting. This group is going to be really. I mean, it's going to be to the last game. So tomorrow we will see, and we will have an update next week on this group. However, I feel obliged to offer the Heart and Hustle Award to Albania, specifically to what's this guy's name who scored the own goal and then scored. It's literally impossible to pronounce. He scored an own goal at
Jasula.
Klaus
So what is it?
Jasula scored an own goal in the 76th minute, and then in the very last minute of the game, he scored the equalizer to put Albania on top of Croatia in
The equalizer.
the group. Albania, congratulations in obtaining the Heart and Hustle Award.
Who would have thought we would have given a hard hustle to Albania?
That's how it works. That's the beauty of these tournaments.
Love these tournaments.
Love it.
And
Let's
the
move
game
on to Group
watch-
C.
Yeah, I would say, just to close it off, the game to watch, at least for me, is definitely Croatia and Italy.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. Yep.
That's going to be. They need a response, and Italy do not want to get knocked out of another tournament. So that's going to be the game to watch.
That might get pretty bloody and dirty. And hopefully we don't see any more own goals coming out of this group. But let's move on to Group C. Ooh, is there
Group
a lot to
C.
talk about here? We have the current standings at number 1, top of the group, England. We have Denmark at the 2, Slovenia number 3, and Serbia the bottom of the group at number 4. Guys, how do we feel about this English team? Speak your mind. This is a safe place.
Disappointment, man. Disappointment.
Yeah, tell me more. Why are you so disappointed?
Oh, the way
You
they
were
played.
just in England.
You were just in England, yeah, in London.
Not too long ago. Yeah, not too long ago. Mind the gap.
I bet you do. Mind the gap. Yeah, I heard about that.
Mind the gap. No, I was expecting more from that team. I mean, no, 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 no.
Tying Denmark 1-1. Early goal from Harry Kane, and then they let Denmark come back, and they ended up tying the game against Denmark. I think they could have
Denmark
done
should
better.
have won.
Yep.
Denmark should have
some-
won that game.
Denmark actually
There's
looked
a-
really good.
Yeah, they. I think Omero mentioned to me early in the week about what was it the coach from England that he put his it's like put his phone in the saving energy mode when he was at 99% battery
Yep.
power, and that's the way he's playing. And it's so noticeable in the field that it's really bothered me. It bothers me.
Yep.
Sky
not looking
Sports
good.
over in England, they put up a graphic that after England has scored their first goal, the average positions for the following 15, 20 minutes for England is that they were all at the top of their own box
Yeah.
after their first goal. I mean, it's very surprising the amount of talent. I mean, the reaction from England is crazy. I mean, people are saying it's like you have a Ferrari and you're driving it through a school zone. Right? The
Yep.
caliber of players that you have, and a lot of people were upset with Gareth Southgate during the post-match interview saying that he doesn't, he said we don't have a replacement for Calvin Phillips, which is leading everyone to believe that, okay, Declan Rice is a holding midfielder. And so if you had Calvin Phillips, you have two holding midfielders. So you're automatically almost in the defensive side with players that are very, very attacking. And I mean, I don't know. And then taking out Harry Kane,
Yeah.
the game, I'm like, dude, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. And Denmark were that goal, by the way, was fantastic.
Yes.
It was such a great goal. He hit it perfectly. Pickford couldn't get it. It hits the post and bounces right in. There was no way he could have got it.
Yeah, no way. It was an incredible goal. The crowd was going nuts. I thought it was placed perfectly. Like you said, there's no way the keeper was going to get it because, a few more inches to the right, I think it would have hit the post. It would have gone out.
Would have bounced
So
out.
he calculated it like no other.
It's good. I mean, and Denmark I think that Denmark should have deserved the win. I think they should have won.
Yep.
They had some good chances. England just so I feel like they haven't been able to hit the gas. I don't know what it's missing. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, the guy is a phenomenal right back. He's one of the best attacking right backs in the world. And they put him in the middle.
Yeah,
In
talk about that.
theory-
What was the idea there? And it looks like the coach changed his mind on whatever strategy he had at first. But what's up with that positioning?
His delivery is what sets him apart from everyone, right? When he plays over in Liverpool, he plays on the right side, and then he's able to go and deliver. The guy ends up with like a ton of assists as a right back because of the deliveries that he goes and sends forward, going and sending in diagonal passes, for Salah, for Nunez to go and lead into a goal over in Liverpool. But so in theory, it's like instead of putting him outright on the right back position, we put him up higher in the field so we can get crosses in. And I believe in the first game, during the time that he was playing, he only had two crosses that were entering into that area, and none of them were effective. So it didn't work the first game. The second game, it didn't work at all. That he got pulled out 5 minutes into the second half and puts in Conor Gallagher, which I felt like Conor Gallagher should have been playing already. But then you start thinking, look who's on the bench. You have Cole Palmer, who's like young player of the season, and then you have Maino. I mean, players that are a lot more dynamic. Put Declan Rice out as a 6, and then just put those players up forward. So it's very confusing on what Garrett Southgate is doing with this team.
Yep.
I know Harry Kane had some words about from to former players criticizing them, and I felt like those were really strong words from Harry Kane, and I felt like that's exactly what you want your captain to go and say, defending his
I agree.
teammates. But it's England just do not look like they're firing on all cylinders, I guess you can say. So Denmark kept themselves alive. They are second in the group, right? They're second in the group.
Yep.
I'm a little bit disappointed with Serbia, but they did pull another last minute goal to tie the game, and
Yep.
Slovenia
In the
is just
95th minute, I think.
I
Yep.
mean, Slovenia is hanging in there, right? So these last couple of games are going to be very interesting because England will play against Slovenia and Denmark with Serbia. So I think both of these games are going to be really interesting, and it'll be quite a shock if Slovenia pulls up a
Yeah.
draw with England,
Yeah.
and the result of Denmark can either they could potentially send England into third place, and hoping and praying that they get in as the best third place team.
Yeah, I think Denmark looks pretty good right now. I thought when I saw them sub out Trent Alexander-Arnold, I thought, okay, there is proof right there. There's an experiment gone wrong there. Like now it's time to try a different strategy, time to play players where they belong. And I think Denmark looks really good. I also think that this tournament's awesome. There have been so many goals in the last minute. The fans can't even leave the stadium, and no matter what, no, they can't leave early. They have to stay to the last minute because you never know what's going on. But I'm very interested. Maybe England's going to turn around. Alonso, what do you think? How far do you think we're going to see this English team make it in this tournament? Are they going, quarterfinal, semifinal? What do you think?
I think on paper, this team is one of the best in the tournament.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm going to have them making it out of this group and then getting into at least a challenging getting past that next game. I'm trying to see in the bracket who they would play if they come in first. I believe it's the winner of group. No, actually, I think they would be playing Germany
Group
if
A.
they play yeah. I think they would be playing Germany if they come in second, if we have Denmark past them.
It's going to be very difficult.
It'll be difficult. One injury that I want to call out because Stefania Bell will be proud of me. Kieran Trippier, he's he's a defender for England. He's nursing a calf injury. He's been playing through the pain so far in the tournament, but I think in this last game he re-injured it. He may be limited in the upcoming game against Slovenia. And then one thing I do want to call out because we're in this, we passed this as a injury or drama news for the first group with Spain. Albania, Dad's favorite team right now. Mirlan Daku, he's banned for 2 games after he led the crowd in nationalist chants. He took the megaphone after they tied with Croatia, and he started in chants against Serbia and North Macedonia. So he's not going to be playing for the next 2 games, critical games for them to make it out of their group. And then lastly, just earlier also in the group with Hungary, I know they're not making it, past the group, but one of their players, Varga, he collided with a player from Scotland. They shielded the area for 10 minutes with blankets, and they were able to get him out in the stretcher. So some bad injuries and a little bit of drama with an Albanian player with the megaphone with chanting. But that's the news with England. I think they'll make it past the group. I hope they get a little bit further and get their crap together because on paper, they're one of the best teams in the tournament.
I love that injury report brought to you by no one. Alonso comes very prepared. So, guys, follow him on all social media platforms.
Twitter, X, TikTok. You know where I'm at.
All of the above. Snapchat. Set up some Snapchat. Let's keep moving, guys. We got to keep moving through this tournament. There's a lot of groups. We're in Group D so
Ouch.
far. Current standings for Group D looks very interesting. We have Netherlands, number 1. France, that's France. That's France. Number 2, Austria 3, Poland 4. Guys, what's happening in this group? I must say the France-Netherlands game was I fell asleep in that game. It was the most boring game that I watched. And then Austria-Poland, 3-1. Austria took on Poland and gave them 3 goals. What are our thoughts? What's happening with France? Alonso, injury report on France.
Injury report.
I don't know if it was that he is that good or if it was just a bad game, but Mbappe, most of the world knows he came out of getting a hit on the shoulder, with a nose that looked like the capital letter C. Omero knows what I'm talking about. And he broke his nose. He's wearing a mask, so he looks like Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. Someone did an amazing edit of that
Oh,
on Instagram. It looks so good.
we gotta post that on our social media
I
platforms.
worry about him. I think we have France going all the way. Them just beating, Austria 1-0, and then tying Netherlands 0-0 is not looking good.
Yep.
They're still on paper again one of the best, very best in the tournament, one of the favorites to win it. Hopefully they go far, but we really want to see Mbappe take the field again. I think he will, with a Man of the Iron mask on, so no one messes up his realignment on his nose. But besides that, the team needs to be better. They have their start, but they need to be better. They need to be more aggressive, take more shots on target, please, and then pull out with a win for the upcoming game.
Ooh.
They missed a lot of chances in that
Yep.
game. What's his name?
Griezmann.
Griezmann. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He was pretty close there.
Too many chances. Yeah.
I almost
Not
think that
convinced with
in
France.
that play, I can't remember who passed it to Griezmann. I almost feel like he should have taken a shot. Some of the games that I'm seeing, it's like people are doing an extra pass that they don't need. They just shoot the ball, man. Like keep it low on the ground and shoot it. But Griezmann was so close there. He was just kind of crooked. He was like falling down, so couldn't really kick the ball in there. But Netherlands, France, 0-0. Netherlands looks good. France looks like they really struggle with Mbappe. I could see him, I could have seen him many times in that game, taking the ball and running himself, just going full speed. So I think they are missing him a ton, our Ninja Turtle friend. But Austria, Poland, 3-1. What's gonna happen?
Lewandowski. Poland's gone, man. Poor Robert Lewandowski. Guy barely played this
Yeah.
tournament. It just I was a little bit disappointed. Austria definitely pulled up a very, very good performance against them. Again, I agree. I was falling asleep against Netherlands and France.
Oh,
It was
man.
just not exciting at all. But the group standings is what kind of makes things a little bit interesting with this group. So they have France playing against Poland. Poland, nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Maybe for the glory, but I don't see them playing, beating France. France could go and they can get the win. We might see Mbappe play last few minutes just to get him some game reps. I know exactly how he feels because I broke my nose the exact same way, shoulder right through. That freaking hurts. But the Netherlands Austria game, I would never have thought that this would be interesting until the group standing. So Netherlands, I definitely foresee them being on the front foot compared to when they were just kind of holding off France. But they do have the talent there in Netherlands. I don't really necessarily agree with the style of play of this guy, Ronald Koeman, of the manager for Netherlands. I think this team could be a little bit more attacking, but if this is what helps them get through, I mean, it is what it is. But I think Netherlands could get the win here to go and progress into the next round, but Austria can. There could be an upset here. So the groups is pretty tight. Netherlands and France share points with 4, and then Austria with 3, which puts them at least in very good position points wise to go and progress. Even if they do end up in 3rd place, they are in good shape to be able to go and progress to the next round. So I actually see Austria getting into the next round for sure.
That's true. That's really important to remember is that the top 2 teams will qualify for the next round, but then the 4 best 3rd place teams also will qualify for the next round. So that's going to change a ton after these last round of games. But got to keep an eye on those 3rd place teams because they still have a chance. And Austria is definitely one of those teams. Let's go to Group E, which I find to be one of the most interesting groups because every single group has 3 points.
3 points.
Every single group has won 1 game and lost 1 game. So it's all about how many goals you scored and how many goals you conceded. I'll just name off the standings as they are as of today. Romania's 1, Belgium 2, De Bruyne, Slovakia 3, and Ukraine in the bottom of the charts, number 4. Guys, this group, this next round of games for them is going to do it all. It's going to really show who's on top. But right now, they are dead even. Dead even. What do we feel about this Belgium team? Because I thought they were a favorite there. De Bruyne, I think, scored a golazo. Was it yesterday? Day before, maybe?
It was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 against Romania. Scored a good goal in the 80th minute. How are we feeling about this group? What do we think? What are our thoughts? Who's moving forward? Because right now, it's a coin toss.
Who should go forward? Belgium should go forward.
Should.
They should. But I don't know, man. They're going to be playing against Ukraine. Ukraine pulled off a win. And I don't know. This group is so wide open. I can't believe it. I mean, Belgium, the one thing that Belgium just needs to focus on is Lukaku being onside. That's I think he should have 3 goals already.
Did he? But he was offside. Yeah.
But he's been offside. Yeah.
Yeah.
He even scored this last game, but he was offside. I still think Belgium's going to go through. They do have they have good players there. Kevin De Bruyne with a really, really good goal. I think he still needs to get into the game. I think it's going to come out in this last game. So these last round is Slovakia against Romania and Belgium and Ukraine. So I think both of them, they both play at least at 12 o'clock Eastern time here. I'm going to be switching between both games because
Split the screen.
You never know what could happen. I think Belgium could get the win from Ukraine. The Slovakia and Romania game is the one to just kind of see what could happen. So imagine they all tie.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. But right now, as of now, they're pretty much all tied. So, what's going to happen? This next game is going to be intense. Dad, what do you think about this Belgium team, this group? I know you send a lot of money over to Ukraine anyway, in general, but that's a different topic, different podcast. What do you think about this group?
To be honest, I haven't even watched those games. The only one that I watched last time was the Belgium versus the one just recently.
Oh no, the one they
Romania.
won.
Romania.
Yeah.
Romania. Oh yeah.
That was yesterday.
That was the only game that I watched so far in this group. So no comments.
No more bets. Alonso.
No more bets.
I think De Bruyne, if they get past this group, I think he's going to shine. He has really good hair too. It reminds me of my hair.
It's
Just
like-
if my hair was darker or was a little bit lighter.
Back.
But I like seeing Lukaku, when he passed the ball to get an assist rather than turning and shooting himself and missing probably. But he was not being selfish. He let the ball, to another player to had a better shot. I I don't want to see Ukraine go through. I'm just kidding. That's another podcast. But I mean,
Save it for the other.
regardless, I'm surprised with Romania. I don't think I gave them a chance, but they're
Me
in
neither.
it, and they're, I think, tied for the top of the group with Belgium, and they have a good chance. You know, they have a good chance to make it through. I mean, I think they'll make it through, but they have a chance, you know, to be the number one even in the group. So we'll see. I hope, you
Keep
know,
your eye on this group.
I think De Bruyne, you know, if they make it past, I think he's going to do really well. Hopefully, score a couple more goals so that he's in contention to be one of the best players of the tournament.
MVP. Is that the golden boot? Is that what they call the golden boot?
Yeah, I
No,
don't know. I
golden
think that
ball.
one may go to somebody in Portugal.
And
I'll
the
say
golden
that's
boot
the-
is for the top score.
Top
Yeah.
goal scorer.
Well, speaking of Portugal,
Let's go move on.
let's go to Group F. Portugal is at the top right now, really showing
So
dominance.
many goals.
Scoring 5
Number
goals.
one.
They are on top. 5 goals so far in the tournament. They are number 1. We got Turkey, and you know what? I think it's pronounced Turkey, according to the commentators I've been listening to in all these games. You learn something new.
Turkey. Yeah.
Turkey at number 2. Czechia, that was another one.
Turkey, yeah.
Czechia, number 3, and Georgia,
It's not
ATL.
Czechia?
It's not. Georgia, number 4. So this group, Portugal's really showing their dominance. Alonso, you were just talking about a selfless player in the other group. We all saw that Cristiano Ronaldo could have scored that goal when he had that little breakaway, but he passed it over to his compadre and he lets him score. What do we have to say about Portugal? Are they still
was
the
the-
favorite? Go ahead, Dad.
Oh yeah, that's still a favorite. That's still my favorite. I mean,
Thought Albania.
there's some players there, players that like Cristiano Ronaldo and Pepe. Man, he's 40 years old. That guy is
and
just
played a game, man.
What a heck of a
getting
game.
gold. Exactly. There was at one point there was like he was beating everybody in the air, headed out, and then the next ball head the ball out again, and the third, and the fans that were crazy, going crazy for Pepe. Good thing he got out of the last 80 minutes, I guess.
Yep.
Everybody clapping him. Good for him. He's a heck of a dirty player. I hate him, but it's a good defender. He's just doing the dirty job. Good for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Doing a dirty job.
I really like him. I really like him more than the little guy. And
We haven't gotten there
yeah,
yet.
that was the 3-0. And he did that. He passed the ball. He couldn't score. He could have easily scored that goal. But Portugal, yeah, well,
Moving on.
Cristiano Ronaldo put that team in the shoulder, and he just gonna go all the way with them. Watch.
Yep. Looks good. They look really good. Omero, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I was just looking up like the player ratings, and through Google, for that game,
Google.com.
the Cristiano Ronaldo got a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Pepe 4.4 star, 4.4 out of 5 stars.
What
But
are
it's
these
the-
ratings?
the
Is this
two-
like a hotel?
Is
the
this like
two-
Zillow?
I don't
The
even
two
have
oldest
4.5 in
players.
my business.
Yeah, don't look up Belman videos.
those were
Don't Google it.
those were the performance ratings for this past game. The two oldest players there with the highest rating.
Yep.
Pepe had a heck of a game. And then you have Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva to go and get add to the goal tally. I mean they're already into the next round. I think they are favorites to go all the way. They have a strong team.
Yeah.
I believe Leao misses the next game. He's got 2 back-to-back yellow cards. So I believe he's not going to be playing the final game, but the final game is not as important. They're probably going to go and make sure they secure the top spot, of course. But I still feel like Leao is like he's still caged. I feel like he's just ready to go and explode and have an absolute monster of a performance because he's such a talented player. And I really, really like how Vitinha plays in the middle. He's a little guy there, and he's just
Little guy.
everywhere. So Portugal definitely, I would say, one of the favorites to go all the way.
I love it.
I agree. I agree.
I agree.
Any other
Any
comments,
opposed?
Alonso?
I want to say that who was it? Turkey. It was
10
one of the
seconds.
worst own goals I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
glad you brought that up, man.
It was something that I feel like Antonio would have done in high school. Probably.
Antonio for
in
sure
high
would have done
school.
that, man.
Talking that crap about Antonio like he's
He
not
for
here.
sure
No,
would have done
Antonio's
that.
the goalkeeper. Antonio's the goalkeeper, and Diego was the defender passing it back.
Yeah, right. Come on, come on. Hey,
that much realistic.
he was outside of the box. Was the worst part. He was looking down. So confident. Let me pass it back to the goalie. Passed it back, and the goalie's like, "I can't reach." Oh
Goalie-
man.
The goalie got so pissed off. He was so mad.
He probably got chewed out like no other. That guy's
He
in
was-
danger in
He was
Turkey.
so mad.
Great highlight, Alonso. Way to
Yeah.
bring that up, man. You really bringing the gems to this podcast.
I
Injury reports.
appreciate it.
Injury reports.
Unfortunately, is Georgia in the group? I think Georgia, yeah, ATL. Georgia's in the group. His name is Georges. He's one of the top goal scorers of the tournament, and I don't think he's going to make it past the next round. He may have been a player from Georgia that could have been called up to a better club if he had a little bit more time to play, but I think their time is limited. I think
That's
Portugal, once Cristiano Ronaldo starts scoring goals, he hasn't scored a goal yet in the tournament. Once he starts scoring goals,
Could've.
they will be absolutely unstoppable. Also, the security in the stadiums, they need to increase. I think there were 6 fans that ran onto the pitch.
A kid, wasn't it? A kid.
What
too?
was that? The pitch. To go take a selfie with Ronaldo.
Son of a what?
Excuse
And
me.
they need to, up the security, maybe hire Messi's bodyguard. Messi's
Dude, that
bodyguard
guy.
would never let them get close to
would never
Dude,
let
that
that
guy,
happen.
man. He's like,
Cristiano
an
doesn't
action
need a
movie.
bodyguard, man. The guy's ripped. Messi, the little guy, he needs a bodyguard.
the little guy. For the Golden Boot, I think Bernardo Silva has a good chance. And hopefully
Kevin De Bruyne
goals.
could do
He's
it.
my favorite, to get it.
I think we're still kind of early.
All I gotta say.
We're kind of early to pick, MVP candidates and everything,
Hey.
but there are some favorites.
Are we
Omero?
doing live updates right now in the game?
Oh
Who's
man.
playing?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, the USA
just scored.
USA just scored?
Christian Pulisic, Captain America
Oh my
himself.
gosh, we're
Where's the
missing
goal?
it.
You were
We're
supposed to
missing
yell out
it.
the goal.
No, he didn't. He just scored.
And we're back, guys. USA just scored, and we really got to get this podcast moving. Thank you to our sponsors. We can probably put a little sponsor break when we just took a break right there. Thanks for bringing that up. Breaking news, Omero. Stacy in the other room's supposed to be yelling every time there's a goal so we can run out. Let's close out the Euro Cup. I think we've said everything that needs to be said about the games, about where we're at in the Euro Cup. Guys, it was on the 20th, June 20th. We started the Copa America. So there's been a lot of soccer going on. I love it. The games usually start around 6:00. Second games are like at 8, 9. So it's been a great watching so far. We have a lot to talk about, especially with some certain teams that we are very passionate about. But let's jump right into the standings. Not only USA, who's playing Bolivia right now and winning 1-0 right now, but also let's talk about the current standings for Group A. We had some key games here. Group A, the current standings as of right now, it's kind of tied in the middle, but Argentina's 1, Chile 2, Peru 3, they're tied. Canada 4. So really, it's like Argentina on the top, Canada on the bottom, and Chile and Peru are like the sandwich,
They're like the jamón y queso, right?
they're the jamón y queso. Yeah.
They have the peanut butter there.
Unfortunately, that's what
That's
they
how
are.
messy they are.
The chunky peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's the position that they're in. Guys, so real quick update. Argentina playing Canada in Atlanta. It was incredible. I didn't go to the game, but downtown was nuts. They won 2-0. And then, all right, guys. We got time? We got to talk about Chile, Peru, man. Chile, Peru tying 0-0. Not a single goal. Huevo a huevo. What are our thoughts on Chile? What are our thoughts on this game? On Gareca? Hey, this is a safe place. A safe space. Talk your feelings. We're starting with Dad, since this is your home country. This is your blood. What do you think about this Chile team, man? 0-0. 0-0.
Just one word, man. Disappointment. I completely disappointed with the way that Chile performed on the game. There's too many things that I can this crap that I can talk about the team, but it's just pretty much disappointment. I mean, they were showing something in the friendly games, and we got excited.
A lot of promise.
The whole fans, Chilean fans got excited. They say, okay, so this is the team now. We're playing better. But now we went back the same way we playing the World Cup qualification. There is no difference. They're playing
I know, and it's
the
terrible.
same way. We don't have midfielders. We don't have a 9, and we have that problem for a long time. So it's just going pretty much back to reality. There were some chances in the first half. Peru knows well Gareca. He coached that team for 2 World Cups for 8 years, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. And Copa America.
Conflict of interest there.
So they know how he played.
Conspiracy.
The other guy, older than Gareca, he set up the team
Conspiracy.
the way that I could neutralize Gareca's system, and they did. I think there was a really dirty game too. It was a really dirty game. I think. Peru put more heart in the game than the Chilenos. The Chilenos got beat up, pretty much. They got really beat up. And some of the players, you touch them and they fall down, I saw a Peruvian player there, a defender, he just barely walking out of the field. I mean, that guy put his soul there in that game. And I didn't see any player like that, like Marcelino Núñez, Pulgar. Those guys, they need to put some heart in there. It's just like, I don't see him now,
Uh-oh. Connection issue.
You're good.
Poor connection. No, I think we're good. Sorry.
Banana bread.
Sorry.
No, I was looking at this game. It was like so rough, so dirty, so many late hits, and I was looking at it just now. They both got around the same amount of fouls. Peru had 18. Chile had 19, but Chile had 3 yellow cards. Peru only had 1. I'm not saying. Was this the one with the ref who was Valenzuela? There was a ref who was a Valenzuela.
Jesus Valenzuela.
That might have been a different game, but
No, these were all Brazilian.
Yeah, you're right. They were the Brazilians. I thought that the ref. I know he was calling a lot of fouls, but that game was out of control. There's just so many fouls, so many late hits.
Too many fouls.
The game was so fast-paced.
The last 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes, the one they add at the end.
Yep.
There was just fouls, and they just laying down on the floor, trying to restart the game, foul again. It was just like, and I guess it's been in a few games too. I mean, Ecuador yesterday got a red card in the first 2 minutes. The player from Ecuador got a red card.
Talk about that. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But Chile really worries me. It really worries me because we pretty much we're going back of the time we're like, okay, we need to find the new team, the golden team, golden generation is gone. We got to find the new team. But hey, Vargas completely disappeared.
Yep.
Alexis Sanchez, he still think he's the number 10 there, and he's not a 10. He's not a 10. He can't create plays there. He can't play forward anymore because everybody knows the same dribbling that he does. Everybody knows what he's going to do. He's not as fast as he used to be. Estoy cansado, jefe. So, I'm afraid that this is. I'm going to do it really quick. This is what's going to happen.
Give it to us.
So, the tie wasn't even good for Peru or Chile. It wasn't good for any other. There was a game that Chile should have supposed to win. They were supposed to win. He didn't. They
It was
didn't.
good for Canada.
Okay. So now good for Canada. Now the second game is against Chile. Most likely, I mean, Argentina have a much better midfield than the Chile. I
They
mean,
do.
for far. So
Yeah.
and that's where you control the ball. So we're screwed, man. We're gonna lose that game. We're gonna
And I
lose
quote,
that game.
"We're
So now
screwed."
what's gonna happen? Peru could be Canada. The way they're playing, they could be Canada. So it's gonna end it up on the third game. It's gonna end it up everything on the third game. So what's gonna happen?
And who's
We're
going to
gonna
be
be
in the
with
third
1
game?
point. Chile and Canada, which they play, and Chile needed to win. But then Argentina and Peru, they're both gonna have. Argentina's gonna have 6 points. Peru's gonna have 3 points because they're gonna beat Canada. Let's say that they beat Canada, and then you know what? The third game, hey, for sure,
Conspiracy.
just like, hey,
For
let's
sure.
just tie the game.
Let's die.
Conspiracy.
Let's tie the game, pe. ¿Qué te cuesta, pe? Right?
Let's
And
type
for
it.
sure, así, claro, I don't want to. Of course, I don't want to deal with Chile right on the
Sí,
road in the
claro.
tournament again. So let's get Chile out, and we just go both Chile,
Man.
Argentina, and Peru go to the second phase.
You know that could
That's what's gonna happen.
that could happen, and I would be so mad, man. So mad at those Argentinos and Peruanos, man. You know, I think that that Peru Canada game is gonna
Very
be
likely.
interesting. I think it's gonna be really interesting. Anything can happen. Any one of those teams can win. But the Chile and Canada game that we are going to. Oh man, we're gonna either leave there crying or we're gonna be leaving there with our shirts off and partying like crazy, man.
I hope there is a game.
Diego,
that
I don't
we
want to see
can-
you with your shirt
we-
off.
that
man.
we're gonna be there. The game that we're gonna be there with some kind of hope to go to the next round. But I think it's all gonna be Tuesday. Tuesday play again. Chile, Argentina, Canada, and Peru. We'll find out there. What's the plan?
We'll see. I thought the lineup was a little weird, but there could be some changes. Omero, what changes would you make to this Chilean lineup, this team, and how they're playing as far as coaching tactics, man? You got the knowledge.
Come on, coach.
What changes need to happen?
I think I think that is a
Gal.
little too harsh because I don't see Peru beating Canada at all. Peru is not a good team. I think Chile's game plan worked well, and I think it would have worked even better if the midfield was different. If the midfield was a little bit different.
We don't have a midfield. We don't have a midfield. That's all we got.
But
True.
that's not what I said. I said it would be better if we had a better one. But we got to work with the ones that we got. The plan worked because Peru had everything was forced through the wings. All right, everything had to be played there throughout the whole game. Everything was played through through the outside areas, which is okay. But the problem is in order for you to be effective down into wings, you need to create overloads. You need to have more numbers on the outside wings, and the midfield failed that because they didn't move the ball quick enough. Isla was pinned back because of Peru's player, but then after that player got injured, he got some freedom there. Peru's game plan, and you can tell from the very beginning, is just to wait and break on the counterattacks, and they were pretty effective. But Chile lost every midfield battle. Pulgar did not work.
Nope.
Núñez did not work. And Alexis is not a 10. They have him playing as a 10 role, but he's not a 10. He's not able to go and do the job. So who are the replacements? I'm looking at the bench, and you don't have the replacements. So I think it's going to be the same thing. Núñez has to step it up. He has to step it up. Pulgar has to just. I think if he were to trust the back line a little bit more, he can be a little bit higher up the field and can help control the midfield there. It's because I think the back line, despite the stature that they have, they did fairly well.
Yeah.
I think as far as tactically, it's tough because I don't see a natural replacement for these players.
We don't
So-
have a midfield.
Pulgar is definitely going to have to play because there's no other player that can play that role that he does. Alexis is going to play because it's Alexis. The only problem is with Valdez. I don't know if he's going to be playing the next game, and that hurt the team a lot.
When he got
I
out.
think that hurt the team a lot. Osorio did nothing.
Osorio,
Davila,
20-year-old.
I think just needs a little bit more time, so we're definitely going to see him back. But Ben needs to play. Brereton needs to play. He immediately
Sabo
was making the
players.
difference.
No Sabo.
He's already making the difference. As soon as he came in, he touched the ball within the first few minutes, and that's what he needs. He needs to have the
More
ball.
passion.
So
More
I
passion.
think with Valdez
More
out, that opens
passion.
up Brereton to go out and play on the left-hand side with Vargas still playing up on top. Only problem is that if you're trying to go and find a solution in the midfield, you're playing against Argentina next, and Argentina is going to go and dominate. So with that said, I think the style of play almost changes for Chile because they have to almost forfeit possession, meaning that they'll have to play almost counterattacking. And if that's the case, Vargas and Brereton will have to go and play a 2 up top and try to go and counter as we can.
A 4-4-2, you're saying? 4-4-2?
Almost, but they don't really play a 4-4-2. I know the game they said that they played a 4-4-2, but it never looked like a 4-4-2 unless they were in defense. But Alexis was playing up top with Vargas when they go and defend in a 4-4-2. So Alexis has been a question mark because they have him playing as a 10 and he's just not feeding the players enough.
No.
So I think it would be a miracle if Chile pulls off a result against Argentina.
They can do it.
Because I know I have like an 80% chance, I put Canada having an 80% chance of beating Peru.
80% chance.
Canada,
Alfonso
they did not look
Davies.
good against. They didn't look great against Argentina, but
Only
it's
one I know.
hard to go and look good against the world champion, against arguably the GOAT. Argentina did not
little
look well,
goat.
but
No argument.
I believe we'll definitely get a result against Peru, and it'll come down to the end. I don't see Peru leaving. I don't see Peru finishing higher than third.
Okay.
Those are some strong words. I tell you, I just imagine that game against Argentina and seeing this happened in the last game against Argentina, seeing Messi and Di Maria breakaway coming right to the goalie, man. That must have been so scary for that Canadian goalkeeper. But that is, I mean, they're really good at counterattacks, man.
What were they calling it? Fideo?
Fideo, yeah.
Man.
I think that if I had to say one of those, I mean, the best player in Chile, I think it was Bravo. He played a heck of a game.
Capitan.
That's the only one I can say. Everybody else, we need a lot of work before Tuesday, man. A lot of work. A lot of work.
I hope they start Ben. Alonso, what do you think? Come on, man. Share your
I'll
thoughts.
add for Claudio Bravo a congratulations for setting a record. He officially became the oldest player in Copa America history to play in a game at 41 years old and 69 days. He had
Wow,
a in Peru. He had 4 saves. Captain Bravo. He didn't blow it. He's famous for that too, for really messing up. When they pass it back to him when
and
he
he
gets out
touched
of
the ball a
box
lot, man.
a little too far. But yeah, he had the ball in his feet quite a bit for being 61 years old. Not bad.
He was solid.
Me, Homero, and Diego, we still have a chance. We still have a chance.
If we start training now, man, we can do it.
We can set the next
closer.
record.
But I'm the farthest one away, so maybe I have a chance. Yeah, I think we're gonna be praying. We're spiritual people. We're gonna be praying for Chile and fasting, praying and fasting for Chile. I mean that Argentina game is gonna be tough, but we will be there in the other game, that final game, Chile versus Canada. Thanks to our sponsors for buying us tickets to go to that game. and enjoying that game. Argentina, like we said, 2-0. Argentina's looking pretty good. We did see another key game that happened yesterday, really close to my
Hey,
heart.
by the way, the field they're gonna be playing, the stadium is beautiful. The grass is beautiful. It's like a
Oh.
pool table. We were there yesterday.
You were
with
just there.
Tomato there with the game of Orlando City and Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire? Yeah.
Chicago Fire.
Hey, they're not gonna play in that crappy stadium over in Atlanta because man, that was pretty embarrassing.
And I think it was
days.
Goodness.
Stadium's
Messi
beautiful,
talking
but the
crap
grass.
about it? I think it
2
was
days
Messi
they go
talking
and
crap.
lay down grass, and I saw pictures, and all you see is just squares. And
It
all
was
the
bad.
players. were
Guys,
just-
it's not. I'm going to the USA game this coming Thursday, by the way. USA Panama. And I'll let you know in person. I'll go down to the field and I'll test out the grass. But I must
Okay,
say,
You're
let
gonna
us
be
know.
like Bo and Dick and Jane when he's taking like the grass from
I'm gonna bring something to my backyard. You can kind of see the backyard back there. I'll let you know how the grass looks. I will say the stadium is incredible,
USA.
but it seems like they are struggling with the field. I think it was Messi. It might have been someone else from Argentina that was like
The coach,
talking
The
a lot of
coach,
crap
the coach
about it.
Martinez. Martinez was the one
the
also
Argentinian coach talked about
complained
it.
about
Yeah,
the
they
organization.
He's always
the
complaining about
organization.
something, and they
you know,
won.
that guy just likes to
Yeah.
complain.
Well, 22 minutes, the USA still winning 1-0 to Bolivia.
Well, let's go on to the next group. The next group is the only other group we have to report on because the other groups haven't played yet except for USA playing right now. The next group is Group B. We have the current standings. Venezuela 1, Mexico 2,
Call you.
Ecuador 3, Jamaica 4. Guys, what a game yesterday. Key game yesterday. Ecuador versus Venezuela. Alonso, did you see what happened in the 20th minute? What happened there? The
Your
foul
favorite player got sent off
in
with
Valencia.
a red card. It was a yellow. It was overturned to be a red card. In the 22nd minute, Ener Valencia. Red card. He's going to miss the next game. So that means his
He's missing
Copa
the next
America
2
career is
games.
going to be cut short.
No, I
Copa
think he
America
missed.
is gone.
I think he just misses one more game, right?
misses 2.
He misses the
games.
next 2. Oh man!
It's a straight red.
straight
When it's a
red
straight
card.
red-
And he was
His
he's
Copa
the
America
captain.
tournament is over.
He's the captain of the team too. So that was I tell you, that was really heartbreaking to see because the whole game it's just kind of it just makes it unfair. You know, that you can't really see the true Ecuador Venezuela when that happens. I don't think he meant to do that. I mean, you're it's a split second decision, man. You're trying to score. His leg went up.
I don't know.
Freaking
sure about
tweeted
that?
him right in the chest.
You
man.
sure about that?
They're South American teams, man. They mean everything.
Oh man, I felt
about
that was so stressful. The coolest thing ever was that 20 minutes later, Ecuador scored the first goal.
Boom.
Sarmiento. He is actually born in Spain, just so you know that, Alonso. Scored in the 40th minute. Oh, they were starting off with such a bad note, being down one man, getting a red card. Then they scored 1-0 and they went into half winning 1-0. But then Venezuela, man, it was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. That was a tough game. I was really cheering for Ecuador. I thought they looked pretty good. I was hoping that the referee at some point, he was looking for an opportunity to make it a little bit more even, to see a really kind of like bad foul to give a red card also for Venezuela, but it never happened. And like I said, it was a matter of time. Venezuela scored 2 goals, ended up winning that game. What are your thoughts? Omar, what did you think about that game?
I was at the stadium going and watching Orlando City
That's
against.
right.
So I wasn't able to go and watch the game. So I was just going to watching some highlights. But like I said on the last bit, that this is pretty much the game that will go and pretty much determine the standings with Venezuela and Ecuador. Venezuela came out on top. It is a real shame that they got a red card in the 20th minute, and Ecuador, I mean, they got a goal out of it, but it's hard to go and sustain that lead with just 10 men. Venezuela, I think I had Venezuela finishing up top of the group. I still believe that they will finish up top of the group. Ecuador will definitely go and progress. They're going to be missing their captain, and he's the striker. I think they will be okay.
Good too.
I'm pretty sure that they will be okay because they are a very good team. They have good players. I really like Moises Caicedo. He played really well. He was rated pretty highly during this game, at least for Ecuador side. So I wouldn't be too, if I was an Ecuadorian, I wouldn't be too worried about this result
Quito?
because I think they will definitely progress.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. I have a lot of faith in Ecuador. Dad, I know you were at the Orlando City game also. I don't know if you saw the highlights. You probably heard of the red card. What do you think about this group with Venezuela and Ecuador? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with Homero. I said Venezuela was going. Venezuela was going second round. Believe it or not, I agree with Homero now. I'm watching the goal of the USA goal. That was a golazo, man. Against Bolivia. The Mexico, I don't think any chance, even though they beat Jamaica 1-0. But I don't think they have any chance to go through the second round. So Venezuela and Ecuador.
I'll give you a funny statistic. These games, when it's South America, if we think of the South American countries, have been pretty dirty so far. Because if you look at Mexico versus Jamaica, Mexico had 8 fouls. Jamaica had 7 fouls. If you look at Ecuador versus Venezuela, Ecuador had 20 fouls. Venezuela had 14 fouls.
It's like nothing new, It's
and
just
Chile and Peru, they both, also.
That's South
Peru had
America.
37
That's
fouls.
South American soccer, man. That's South American soccer.
Yep. They really battle it out. They play fast, so fast paced. But then also, if they take the ball, they're not content with just taking the ball. They got to hit you a little bit and let you know, That's the difference between Copa America and the Euro Cup, honestly. You're going to see that kind of stuff. So,
speaking about dirty playing, I have a few injuries for this group. And a pink card. If you guys don't know about a pink card, I will share.
What is that?
Diego's like, what the heck are you talking about? For Mexico, Edson Alvarez looked like he pulled his hamstring running back from a counterattack for Jamaica. He was the captain of the team, an important midfielder. If he pulled his hamstring or tore it, he's out. His tournament's over. And it looked like he did that. He was carried off the field. Edson Alvarez.
Ouch.
Coming back from the dead, Martinelli for Brazil. We're not going to talk about that group, but he was a forward. He's coming back from injury. We expect him to play against Costa Rica tomorrow. He sustained that injury in practice 2 weeks ago. For Chile, I think Homero, you already mentioned, and Diego Valdez, Chilean midfielder, he injured his calf in the first half. He was ruled out against Argentina. And then talking about dirty plays, this is the first tournament that the pink card, first time for the Copa America that the pink card was introduced. Do you guys know what a pink card is?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And Diego, it's not what you think I'm talking about. It's a different thing, okay?
Is it because of Prime Month or what?
No, close. The pink card, it is not shown by the ref. It is shown by the team themselves. The team will show a pink card to sub off a player that they think has a concussion. So if there's a dirty play, they have a player that gets hit in the head, and they think it's a concussion, they'll show the pink card, and it doesn't count against a substitute, one of the 5 substitutes. But what has to happen is that player needs to come out, needs to immediately go to the locker room, needs to be evaluated by the medical staff, and they will miss the rest of the game.
So they force the team to sub them out.
No one forces anybody. The team will say, you know what? I'm going to pull you out. I don't want to be charged as a substitution, but I'm going to pull you out because I think you have a concussion.
It's like a freebie. It's like, I need to save my player.
That's kind of weird because it puts in the hands of the player or of the team. And that can be kind of risky. I mean, I always come to think of that time where Argentina was playing in the World Cup and Macherano slashed
yeah.
heads. He obviously was knocked out.
Yeah.
And they continued to play. I think there is a concussion protocol where if a player is suspected of a concussion, they would get subbed out and it wouldn't count against them or against the tally of substitutions that they're allowed. But I don't really like that it's in the hands of the team. I think that when the player gets treatment, when the ref goes and calls in or allows them to go and bring in the trainers, and if it's a suspected like head injury, I think like a third party doctor has to go and evaluate them on the field and then make the call. And then when they make the call, then they can allow to make a substitute that won't count against them. But pink card, I mean, well, we'll
Pink
see.
card.
We'll see how that works, but that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Alonso coming in with the facts and the breaking news. Guys, also right now, as we speak, we're making history. The U.S. is making history, being the first time in history that the U.S. has a player that's the top scorer of the Copa America right now. Christian Pulisic. They are currently still winning 1-0 right now against Bolivia. And the one and only Christian's on the top of the charts for top scorer.
It's good that he scores, though. It's good that it was him that scored because he's
setting the tone.
He's got to be their best player. He needs to start scoring.
He is their best player. I mean, he's still the best player for the US. He's a really good talent. I'm excited to go and see how they play. I think they have a lot of potential still. So we'll see what happens. They're in good shape right now playing against Bolivia. I definitely see them as one of the two CONCACAF teams that are going to be going into the next round.
Two CONCACAF. Dad thought they would be the only one. That's going to be an exciting game. That's happening right now. Uruguay's playing a little bit later against Panama. Tomorrow we're going to see Colombia. Tomorrow we're going to see Brazil. Later we're going to see Chile again and Peru, which we've talked about. All the games. Copa America just started. There's only been 4 games.
4 games.
And so they just started. We're really going to start seeing the teams and seeing the other teams play and the other groups and getting used to seeing how the teams play together more than just one game. This is an exciting tournament. Like I said, USA right now on the top for top scorer with Christian. Good old Christian. But any closing thoughts about this group or this tournament? I know we're going to be cheering on Chile. I'm going to be going to the game, USA versus Panama on Thursday at 6 p.m. And then the 4 of us, along with Antonio, who's not here, and a couple little Valenzuela chicos as well, will be going to that game, Canada and Chile game on Saturday, the 29th at 8 p.m. What are we excited for seeing closing out this tournament? What are we excited to see in this next week, guys? Who are we excited to see? Chile, USA, Brazil. Dad, you're on mute.
I am, because the dog was barking too loud.
You got the baby, you got the dogs, everybody in the house.
The dogs, everybody in the house, man. Your mom complaining in the other room. Oh yeah.
She's one of our top listeners, our biggest fan.
He's coming after that comment.
I'm excited about the games that are coming up. I'm excited to see Uruguay too, even though they hate me because I made a comment in Facebook about the Uruguay. But I'm excited to see them, to see what they can show with Bielsa, because I'm really a big fan of Loco Bielsa. And I'm just Tuesday. I'm gonna be sitting down in the top and the edge of my chair.
Yep.
To see what's happen with Argentina and Chile, and of course, on Saturday. Next Saturday, we're all gonna be together there, either for just for the fun or just to probably any hopes, or it's gonna be a war there. We'll see. We'll see. But it's gonna be fun anyway. At the end of the day, it's just a game.
It's sure, yeah. It's our lives, man.
It's our
You're right.
livelihood. And I need a ride to the game on Saturday, by the way. I just want to throw that out there for whoever's, close.
From Miami, baby.
From Miami. I think I think with the two tournaments running at the same time, it's good to see the contrast in styles.
Yeah.
Like, one of them there was a comparison. It's like when you have like two different tournaments with a fight. Like you have one in the Euros where you have these master swordsmen going up against each other, putting on a really good display
Fencing.
of swordsmanship. And then in the Copa America, you have like two drunks outside the bar going at it, but they both know how to fight with a knife, and you don't want to look away. So there's a bunch of patadas going on in the Copa America, but I freaking love it.
Kick in the chest.
It has been so fun to watch. There's the Euro Cup is already finishing up its round. The going into the final rounds of the group stages. Copa America just getting started. The differences in styles here has been really, really fun to watch. There's a couple of key players that I'd like to see how they perform in the Copa America. I know we pointed out a couple of key players in the Euros. But I, for one, some of the younger players, I would like to see how Julian Alvarez plays for Argentina. He got a goal.
He scored.
The kid is just he's got an unbelievable resume with the trophies that he's won consistent tournaments. So he's one player that I'm pretty excited to go in and see how he plays. But Copa America is just off to a pretty much kind of a standard start where everyone's just going to start kicking each other, but they're going to play some of the best football that you can see in the world right now. So it's pretty hard to kind of see these tournaments going at the same time and then going and seeing the MLS. Sometimes it's just like,
Nice. Yep.
Well, it's a game, but it's been fun. It's been really fun.
Alonso, close this group off. What are you excited for the Copa America? It's just starting.
For the Copa America, I want to see Brazil come back to the Brazil that we remember. I want Brazil to be the best in the world because they are so arrogant that they think they are. I hope they can find a way to show it, especially in the group that they're in with Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. I'm also excited to see Uruguay because I think they're one of the favorites to win, and I think they will go pretty far in this tournament. And hopefully Pulisic can score a couple more goals before they're kicked out of this tournament, because I don't think they're going to make it past, I don't think they make it to the semifinal. We do have a couple questions from our huge audience on social media that have submitted questions. One of them is actually kind of draws parallel to how dirty we've been seeing the Copa America play out so far. Ooh. We got a question from Julia. I won't give the title, from a lady named Julia, who we all know, who asks,
"Who's that?
Have you ever had a serious injury during a game?" And we'll ask the two most experienced on the podcast, Coach Homero and Homero Sr. Have you ever sustained a serious injury playing the most wonderful game in the world, football?
Coach Homero, just tell everybody, man. Everyone knows.
Dude, me and Mbappe, I think I stole. You can fix it.
You can still kind of see it, man.
You can still kind of see it, can you?
You and Mbappe are like, I mean, the glasses hide it. The glasses hide it, so.
Must have been a broken.
Yeah, the glasses do a good job.
Cute,
broke my nose going and playing. Dude, exactly what Mbappe went through. I felt it. Dude, I got a shoulder in through. I was going up to head the ball, and this guy put his shoulder right through me. Then my nose was like sideways.
Love it.
That was
what else?
My illustrious career. ACL injuries.
Wait, was that plural?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
There's
just like that. It was just right in the Euros group game. Broke my nose. ACL injuries. How many countless sprained ankles? Never
Yeah.
had a.
Gosh.
I've never had like a muscular injury.
I like pulled my quad muscle because it's just so massive, you know? It's just so massive. I pulled that once during a soccer game, but I never had anything like as that even more serious than that. But I had to get out of the game. Dad, didn't you have like some type of no, wasn't it Achilles tendon?
Don't remind me, man. Yeah, it was painful. It was painful, yeah. But before that, also, well, after that, and when I was recovered already, yeah, I snapped something. What is it called? Hamstring, and
Oh.
that thing is painful too. I was trying to. The guy beat me on speed, and I
Come on, man.
tried to go from behind, you know, Uruguayan way.
No, typical
Like a true.
It's
Like a
South
true South
American.
American.
Copa America, you know.
Copa
move.
America, Copa America way. So I couldn't get him, but I snapped that thing. I heard a pack right here, and that was it. And then the next day, I have a bruise there. But yeah, the Achilles tendon. It took me. And that's I don't give it to, not even to my worst enemy. It's just like a snap. It sounds just like that, and it took me a year to recovery. Yeah, it took me a year to recovery. I thought it was somebody got me from behind, and actually it was just me that I fell and the thing snapped.
He felt
And it's
calling the
painful.
foul. He's like, ah.
You were ready to fight,
was-
man.
I was calling the fight, and I was on the ground like this, like, oh my gosh. And I said, okay, I guess it wasn't a foul.
Cool.
So when I tried to stand up and get up,
Did USA just score again or no?
Dude, USA just scored. Sorry about your story, but USA just scored again.
They
Yeah,
just scored?
just
No
just
way.
now.
Tasty, man. You gotta scream
Hey,
it out.
I'm a little bit behind on my.
Put it in my screen. Put it in my
2-0.
screen right there.
We're gonna have to blur your
That's the
screen
goal.
for
Yeah, nice.
copyright
You're gonna have to
purposes.
blur it now. Put your blur on.
Golazo. USA.
Ahí there, ahí está el gol, ahí está el gol, ahí está el gol,
Florian
ahí está el
Balogun.
gol.
Nice. Good goal.
USA.
We're gonna have to
Good
go and
goal.
blur it,
Fire.
but I guess it's all
Follow
right.
run. I love it. It seems like the school bell is ringing right now with this game. I think we're close to halftime though.
What I'm talking about.
Great question. Also, our social media manager. Thanks for bringing that up, guys. Listeners, continue to submit questions. We will get to them one by one. But so far, the questions have been coming from the same people, and they're all family. So, and we invite you to keep submitting questions. We're happy to answer them. It's been a pleasure, guys, going over, the Euro Cup. The Copa America just started. Next week, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. We're going to spend at least 3 hours talking. So prepare yourselves, listeners. No, I'm just kidding. We won't go through 3 hours. We really missed you, Antonio. If you're listening, get better soon. Just kidding, man. You're just scared of your.
Get better soon.
You're just
Come on.
scared, man. He's embarrassed.
He's embarrassed.
Antonio brings a lot of energy to this podcast, but we do want to say a big thank you to Homero R. Valenzuela, a.k.a. Dad, for filling in for Antonio. Thanks for coming back on the show. I'm sure we'll have you in the future, but thanks for filling in. We love your input. We love having you. Any final remarks from you, Dad?
Just, are you guys gonna do this for the South American Common Ball qualification to the World Cup? That would be a good idea.
Well, if our sponsors allow us, if our
That would be-
fans
that would
want
be
us
good.
to.
I will say if your wife wants
Good point,
you
man.
to do.
Good point. You felt a little bit of that from Mom
I
today.
did. But hey, no, thank you for having me again.
Of course.
I'm excited for the Copa America, and for the next game. So I'm excited about next week if we can all together be in the stadium, which is a completely different experience.
Yep.
We're gonna take two of the grandkids that play soccer in our family, Alexis and Matias, and That's gonna be a fun game for them. So it's gonna be a great time together. So don't forget your GoPro.
Oh, we'll bring it. Thank you, Pops. Omero, Coach Omero, any final remarks?
I'm just waiting to see what the next games will have in store for us. It's going to be exciting. More patadas in Copa America, please. I love it. But hopefully less injuries. Euros, it's going to go into the playoff round soon, so it's going to be very exciting. So again, very exciting time right now with two tournaments running at the same time. And next week we're going to be rooting for Chile as they go and solidify their spot into the next round.
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Alonso.
Hopefully.
Guys, like and subscribe. Football Brothers on Instagram. And you'll find us on YouTube at the Hard and Hustle Cup.
And on Spotify.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by.
Oh, we waiting for sponsors, guys. Come on.
See you
come
guys
on.
next week with the injury report. And I'll see you guys next week at the game. That's what I'm
Guys,
saying. I need a ride.
thank you. Thank you for listening. Keep it up. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Remember, we're learning. We're still figuring out this podcast thing, but we're killing it. You gotta admit.
Our wives are learning too.
They're learning too. We'll see you next
It's a
episode.
learning process.
Peace. USA, USA, USA.